Adora's heart pounded in her chest as she stood in front of the mirror, her phone clutched tightly in her hand. The message on the screen was from Obinna, her lover. He was demanding to see her that night, but her husband would be home. She had to make a decision, and quickly. Once upon a time, Adora lived a simple life in the bustling town of Enugu. She was married to Chike, a hardworking man who provided for her and their two children. They had been married for 10 years, and while their marriage wasn't perfect, it was stable. Chike worked long hours as a contractor, often living with Adora and feeling lonely and neglected. One evening, while shopping at the local market, Adora met Obinna. He was charming, handsome, and everything Chike wasn't. They struck up a conversation and soon their meeting became more frequent. Adora felt alive again, something she hadn't felt in years. She knew it was wrong, but she couldn't help herself. Obinna made her feel special. However, Obinna wasn't the only one. Adora also found herself drawn to Emeka, her old school friend who had recently moved back to Enugu. Emeka was kind and attentive, always ready to listen to her problems. He made her laugh and forget her worries. Before long, she was seeing both men and each fulfilling a different need in her life. The situation was thrilling but also dangerous. Adora knew she was playing with fire, but she couldn't stop. She managed to keep her affair a secret for months, balancing her time between Chike, Obinna, and Emeka. But secrets has a way of coming out, and Adora's world was about to come crashing down. One evening, as Adora prepared dinner, her phone buzzed with a message from Emeka. He wanted to see her that night. Adora's mind raced. She had promised Obinna she would meet him, and now Emeka was also demanding her time. She felt trapped, unable to choose between the two men who had become so important to her. Chike arrived home, tired from a long day at work. He noticed Adora seemed distracted, but didn't say anything. He kissed her on the cheek and went to change out of his work clothes. Adora watched him walk away, feeling guilty. She knew she had to make a decision, but the thought of losing either Obinna or Emeka was too much to bear. The next morning, Adora met Emeka at the quiet cafe. She told him she needed some space to think. Emeka looked hot but agreed to give her time. That afternoon, she met Obinna and told him the same thing. Obinna was furious. He accused her of using him and stormed off, leaving Adora feeling even more confused. Days turned into weeks, and Adora found herself missing both men. She tried to focus on her family, but the longing for the excitement and the passion she had felt with Obinna and Emeka was overwhelming. She knew she had to make a choice, but her heart was torn. One evening, as Adora sat alone in her bedroom, her phone buzzed with a message. It was from an unknown number. The message read, "I know what you have been doing. Meet me at the park tonight, or I will tell Chike everything." Adora's blood ran cold. She had no idea who the message was from, but the threat was clear. With shaking hands, Adora typed a reply, asking who it was. The response came quickly. "You will find out tonight. Be there at 8 p.m. Adora knew she had no choice. She had to go. At 8 p.m., Adora arrived at the park, her heart pounding. She looked around, but saw no one. Suddenly, a figure emerged from the shadows. It was Emeka. "Emeka, what are you doing?" she asked, confusion and fear in her voice. Emeka looked at her with a mix of sadness and anger. "I know about Obinna," he said. I know everything. I tried to give you space, but I couldn't stay away. When I saw you with him, it broke me. I didn't know what to do, so I sent the message. I'm sorry, Adora. Adora felt a wave of relief and anger. You scared me, Emeka. I thought someone was going to hurt me, she said, her voice trembling. I'm sorry, Emeka repeated. I just couldn't stand the thought of losing you. I love you, Adora. I always have. Adora was silent for a moment, her mind racing. She had to end this once and for all. Emeka, I care about you, but this has to stop. I can't keep living like this. I need to focus on my family. Emeka nodded, tears in his eyes. I understand. I just wanted you to know how I feel. With that, Emeka turned and walked away, leaving Adora standing alone in the darkness. She knew she had made the right decision, but the pain of letting go was almost unbearable. The next morning, Adora sat at the kitchen table, her phone in hand. She had a message from Obinna begging her to see him. She took a deep breath and typed a reply, ending things with him for good. It was time to put her family first and try to rebuild the life she had almost destroyed. As the days passed, Adora focused on her husband and children, determined to make things right. It wasn't easy, and the temptation to reach out to Obinna and Emeka was always there. But she stayed strong, knowing that the love and stability of her family were worth more than any fleeting romance. Adora's journey was far from over, but she had taken the first step towards redemption. She had faced her demons and made a choice. Now it was time to live with it.